There's one thing that can completely jeopardize your forgiveness process, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it. So let's talk about it. There's one thing that kept me in cycles in my forgiveness process, and that was that even though God had liberated me physically, mentally I was still in chains. Even though I was making active choices to release unforgiveness, I was still mentally there. You know how scripture says, I think it's either in Romans, don't quote me, I'll put it on screen. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so you can test and see the will of God. Something along those lines, right? Scripture in essence is teaching us that in your sanctification process, because I wholeheartedly believe learning how to forgive is part of sanctification, right? In your sanctification process, your mind has to be changed, and forgiving is no different. You need to mentally divorce yourself from the ideas of unforgiveness. The verse in Isaiah that God kept on bringing up to me, that I want to share with you, because I think it will really help you in this process. Because clearly, if God is sending these videos in your way, He's on a mission and He needs you to know the scripture, right? I'll put it on screen, but I'm going to circle the part that keeps on getting me. Do you not perceive it, right? I am doing a new thing. God is doing a new thing, even in this forgiveness process. He's doing a new thing with you. But are you clocking it, as people of my generation will say? Are you catching on to what God is trying to do? Are you catching on to the fact that He is trying to release you and set you free? Are you catching on to what He's trying to do in your life? Are you catching on? Because for so long, even though God had brought me into new seasons, even though God had brought me into new spaces, mentally, I was still stuck where I was hurt. Mentally, I was still living, if we could say it in biblical terms, I was still in Egypt, even though God had brought me into the promised land, if we can put it that way, for you guys to understand. Because I was stuck that way, I couldn't really fully heal. I couldn't fully be liberated, because I was using principles that helped me in unforgiveness to try and attempt to forgive people, which already saying that it doesn't make sense, right? But that's what I was attempting to do. So I'm going to let you already know that the things that worked for you in the world, the things that worked for you when you're leading your life with unforgiveness or by the principles of this world, is not going to work when you're trying to forgive people. You cannot beat yourself into forgiving someone. You cannot really use any principle that this world gives you as a framework for forgiving. I don't even think the world teaches you to forgive, if I'm going to be honest. The world teaches you to revenge and avenge.